ideas do you have at the moment? If you can share with us, that'd be great as well. All right. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Jonathan Chan to the room. Actually, he's in the room already. Thank you. So John, would you like to say a few words and start off your virtual presentation tips and tools webinar?
Okay, thank you very much, Sue. Today, we're just going to spend about an hour covering a few things: the ground rules for all presentations, then the common pitfalls that normally happens when you do a virtual presentation, and third, your branding and identity. What do people think of you whenever you come onto the screen? Fourth, a little bit of tips on your home studio, because we're going to do a lot. You probably need a little corner in your home for a studio. And of course, we will end it with a webinar, a Q&A session. So that's what I have prepared for the slides. I note that there's a question on engagement. I have 4 techniques to help you there. If you have any other problems or issues on presentations, could you please type them in the chat box, and then we may want to include that later. If I can add it in this webinar, I'll do so. Okay. So at the end of this webinar, there will be another session if you want to join me further, if you like what I'm doing. So it's going to happen on the 24th and 26th of June, where I will share a lot more on one-to-one presentation. Yeah. So at the end of it, we'll let you know again. So I'm going to start off right now. So a bit about myself. I was a director in KPMG Consulting Singapore. Okay, and as a management consultant, I've helped clients, so made a lot of changes. For 2 years, I was the Asia Pacific training manager, and I was based in Hong Kong as an expatriate. Because they wanted me to be a trainer, they had to send me to England to change the way, because the consultant tells people what to do things, and the trainer has to make sure the trainees can do stuff. So I had to undergo 5 days training in UK. When I came back, I also had to undergo another 5 days to be certified with the PSMB. I was a keynote speaker in a conference organized by Microsoft, Intel, and Hewlett-Packard. So as I've said, these are the 5 things we will cover, and I'll go straight into it. First one is the common pitfalls. You would have noticed other people's mistakes when they come on to virtual presentations. First one, yep, that's it, background. Or pets come in. Worse still, children come in. So what do? We need to get rid of the background. Secondly, we have flip charts. Some of you are not familiar with Zoom. Then you may still use a flip chart at the back. And be careful when you write on the flip chart, then let people read first. Very often we write on the flip chart and then we talk. But then what you have written, the audience haven't seen it yet. So if you write on the flip chart that's behind you, write, move out of the camera's way, let them read, and then come and speak. Yeah. If you have a microphone, if it's with you, on you, then that's fine. You can talk as you write. There's less silence with the audience. But if you have a unidirectional microphone on your desk, it's better not to talk as you write. Let them read, face the camera, and then talk about what you've written. So quite often people have made those mistakes. The next thing is marker pens. They make a lot of noise. So when you cap or uncap them, put them away from your microphone. Yeah. People also use a lot of acronyms when they write in the chat box. It saves time. But if you read something like COVID-19, don't touch men, follow women, what would that mean to you? So what the author wants to say is, don't touch your mouth, your eyes, and your nose. That's M-E-N. And he's saying follow women. That means to wash your hands often, W, also observe social distancing, and the mask needs to be worn correctly. E is to exercise, and then N, never to forget the above 4. If you didn't ask the author what he's meant, there could be a lot of perceptions in the minds of other people. So watch out for acronyms, and if possible, ask the guy who wrote it what he means. Yes or no? One thing that has really irritated me is when the presenter asks kindergarten questions and then forces everyone to type in the answer, yes or no. Okay, that is an irritant, and there are many other ways to engage your audience, which I will go through. At the end, if you like, you can point out to me some of the techniques I've used to engage you to make sure I get your attention. Nike, yeah. When you have a presentation, you need to rehearse. You need to know the timing, make sure your main points are there, and how you transition from one point to another. You may need to have your notes and even some extra slides in case your presentation finishes early. In presentations like this, no one knows how long questions will take. There may not be any questions. There may be many questions. So the timing is very difficult. Yeah? And this is a presentation you make either to your bosses or to your clients. So it's not a chit chat. You really need to prepare. I've attended presentations when the guy just went rambling on, even forgot what was on his agenda. Verbal text. By this, I mean, don't apologize. Okay, don't keep repeating words like, you know, you see, are you with me? Okay, so get rid of these fillers. Pauses are fine, but there are many people who just keep saying, you know, that irritates others too. And then your phone should be on silent and make sure it doesn't vibrate. I have been embarrassed when I asked my audience to turn their phones on silent, and then my phone rings off. Or worse, when it vibrates, then it moves and there's a lot of noise on the desk. So no vibration either. The chat box. As a presenter, when you ask people to write things, after answer questions, the presenter, you tend to look at your smartphone or check your email, but others could be looking at you. Some people would have finished typing earlier, others type later, they like to think first. So be careful that when you ask people to do things, you yourself still give your attention to the camera. Involving the audience, how often do you engage the audience? Roughly 10 minutes, yeah? You need to keep their attention. So not too often, okay? That's also too much. And then if it's too long, you could have lost them. The icons on your monitor. Now, there are times when you may need to switch. So make sure that there's nothing on your monitor that is not needed. Turn off every other application so that your device, whether it's the iPad or your phone or your laptop, is operating at the maximum efficiency. Certain things are also done by the attendees, which you need to make sure doesn't happen, okay? If you are having a meeting, make sure everyone knows how to use the application, like how to share the screen. And of course, people come in at the last minute. Some people just download the app, others are specialists in time management, and then because the internet is busy, they take time. So let them come out. One thing is bad audio. Do not use the microphone from your laptop. Yeah? If I remove the jack and you listen to me, you will know that it is very echoey. You get distance from the background. Okay, so that's not very good. Put in a microphone. If minimum, use your headset. People are used to seeing headsets as they travel on MRTs, so that's fine. So a bit of engagement now. Could you write down what are the difficulties that you had? Okay, and things that annoy you in video conferences. I will need to turn on my power as you do that. So anything on the chat box? Distracting virtual background. Okay, we'll talk about the green screen. Okay, interaction. Yes, it's going to be difficult to get interaction. All right, We'll see. Kids coming to you, yeah. May talk about the home studio. We're gonna have to lock the room, okay? Yes, Kemi, people, maybe attention. Many people multitask, yeah, so, okay. So quite a lot of people are writing in, that's fine. So if there's any more later on, we are unsure, okay, you could have a quiz, ask them certain questions, yeah. So Yvonne, multiple people speaking at the same time, all right, that's up to you as the host to then control them who is speaking. The bad audio, you have to ask them at least put on the microphone or the headset, yeah. What else? Okay, quite a lot of people, yeah. So Katrina is saying looking for, okay. So, okay, Ruden, background we're going to cover. Interaction, Katrina, we will, we need to be able to engage them, okay? Maybe with humor, maybe with personal experiences. Yeah. All right, so, right, we have some things here. So there's one quick way that we have engaged each other. The way I have engaged. So let's go on. The next thing we come down, second thing is your branding and your identity on the video. People can see your upper body, okay? So we're gonna talk about wardrobe a bit later, but you need to make sure your face is fine and your hair, gel the hair, because people have a habit of flicking the hair, yeah? So gentlemen, you need a close shave. The other thing is your nails. So be very careful with your nails because we gesture a lot. And if your nails are not cut or they're dirty, people can see them, yes? So you should be seen about 1/3 of your torso, not as much. Newscasters, they are seen up to their waist, but we don't need that much, yeah? So whenever you come on to present, I hope that your audience will see that, hey, there's something interesting for me to learn, and they're great visuals. So when they know that you are presenting, they all want to come to your meetings. One thing is, I have felt uncomfortable talking to a camera. Eye contact is when I look into the camera lens. Very often people look at the slide because that's where all the information is. But to the audience, when the presenter looks at the slide, they can see that his eyeballs are looking down. So you really need to focus on that little pinhole, that's your camera lens. And it could be quite a new thing because we are used to looking at people's faces. But now we need to look into that camera lens. There are ways to engage the audience, and we'll talk about that. Okay, very quickly, 4 ways we can use personal humor. Personal humor, the way you have humor, your own experiences. Share those experiences. Whenever you have a point to make, you can make it relevant to them. Okay, you can have stories as well. Stories in business, because most of us would remember stories. If I give you facts and figures, okay, it may just pass your mind because we think in images. If I tell you a story, you can imagine things and you can remember the point, yeah? And of course, we should have quizzes. Quizzes where we ask them questions that probably summarizes what you have taught them. So it's a bit engaging, it's not too difficult, and definitely not so easy that nobody bothers. So every now and then, you would put in a quiz. You can poll. You can have poll questions that come up onto your screen. And when everyone answers, as soon as they answer, they can see the result of the poll. So this is an accumulative poll that you can use. So every 10 minutes, you can have one of these tactics to engage your client or your audience, yeah? And then, okay, we can call them by name because in face-to-face meetings, we can make eye contact with them, okay? If they are having side conversations, when you look at them, they would stop the side conversation. But here you have to maybe gently call their names out. And then Zoom has a, Zoom has a feature that helps you to touch up your appearance. It's here, okay, under, next to your video icon, you go to video settings, and then you can touch up your appearance. Yeah. So touch up my appearance and take a look. Afterwards, there are less wrinkles on my forehead. It's a lot smoother. You don't see the black spots. So it's already available in Zoom. You don't have to use it if you already look great. But for me, it helps me to look better. Yeah. So as a default, you can always set that up. Go to settings, video. You can have a white screen and then touch on my appearance so that every time you appear on Zoom, it already helps you to look good. Okay. And basically, there are three types of presentations that whenever we are on video meetings. One-to-one, one to a group. Like now, I'm presenting to a whole group of you. It could be a lecture, it could be a presentation to senior management on your recommendations or your project report. The second is to have a discussion where maybe 5, 6, 10 people in your group come together. You may want to discuss what is the root cause of a problem, or you may want to select the best solution from a few, okay? And the third would be one-to-one. It could be performance appraisal, it could be coaching, it could be a selling situation where you are just having to do sales over the internet. One-to-one will be on sales. We're not going to talk about that. I will focus more on group discussion because I think there's more, takes more skill, okay? In a group discussion, it's best that everyone is equal. Don't be the leader, okay? And then tell everyone, wait for a pause before they speak. So someone has said, too many people are speaking at the same time. If you're in the lecturing, everybody asks questions, then they all unmute themselves. Okay, you may want to have a co-host to help you, yeah? And help them to say, maybe you can raise your hand. That's the emoticon. Then the co-host can help to say, who is speaking, who has a question. The chat box is fine. We can write things on the chat box so that you can have a record, and whatever you didn't cover during a presentation, you can follow up with email answers. The other thing is, if you have a product, show it. Earlier, I just showed you about the marker pen. So it's much better that you can see and hear the sound rather than having you to imagine. If you have a product to demonstrate, bring it along and show it. Your co-host can help you by looking at the gallery view. For Zoom, we can see 49 people at the same time. Yeah, but in other ones like Microsoft, you can see 4 faces and very soon they can see 9. So that's a big advantage. When you're having discussions and you are not the leader, you would be looking at the gallery view to see who's interested, who's not interested, okay? There may be people who are very confused. Then you want to bring it up to whoever's speaking so that he can elaborate on the points. Yeah. And then as the facilitator, you may need to perhaps have a hand signal. If you wave aggressively like that, then there's a predetermined signal to your audience that, okay, people, let's stop for a while and let the facilitator speak. So if they are very heated, you may want to summarize, and then the 2 or 3 people who are talking, they have some time to think about their thoughts and speak again with their head instead of with their mouth. Yeah. If there are periods of silence, on the other hand, then it's okay. It could be that the people, the audience, just want time to process the information. But you can check. You can summarize what were the contents, okay? And then you can ask, is it agreeable? Is that what you guys also think? If there's disagreement, then someone ought to have spoken up and you can carry on. But if the discussion has finished, everyone has given their points, then you can say, all right, I will summarize it. This is what I think the conclusion is. So you state the conclusion that you think is happening and ask the audience, do they agree? Because very often the facilitator has one conclusion, but that's not the conclusion of the group. So you should state it, ask the audience, and then get confirmation. Yeah? The way you get confirmation is to say, does anyone disagree? Usually people will say, please raise your hands and do you agree? Now, when 1 or 2 persons disagree, you may not notice that they haven't raised their hands. But if you ask does anyone disagree, to raise their hands or to say something. Then it is easier to note and we can continue with the conversation or with the decision making. Yeah? But as the facilitator, you must be sure that your perception of the conclusion is correct. Okay? Then times of silence, of course, you have to ask them, encourage them. You might want to ask leading questions so that the conversation continues. Remind them to mute their microphone after they have finished speaking, because very often people will unmute the microphone and they speak, and then they forget to unmute it and the background noise comes back on. Okay, have a co-host to watch for raised hands and to read out items on the chat box. Again, final question, always confirm any decisions made that you think and ask anyone disagrees. Okay, we come to your slides. Slides need to be engaging and entertaining. So I'm going to talk a lot about white space. Don't cramp your slides with words, because we remember images, we think in images. Yeah? And if you ever need to show videos, always have them downloaded onto your laptop so that you play them from the laptop and you don't need to go onto the internet. Yeah? It's when we click onto external links that hackers can come in. Okay? They can always see your screen or your torso. Less words, more images. And therefore, you need to spend the time to find the relevant image. Yeah? Then, if you have a lot of words, sometimes people don't know which line you're talking about, which row. And then if you have less words, a lot of pictures, and let them appear one at a time, is easier. The audience is always watching your body. Yeah? So whatever you do, assume people will see it. And like I said, we have eye-to-eye contact, but normally, okay, the camera, video camera, laptop camera is here. It's on your desk, so it's lower than you. It's nice, it's better to have the camera at your eye level. So what you can do is you may just get off your chair, bend down, and be at eye level with the camera, but that's very tiring. Or you just raise it. Yeah? You can raise your laptop, okay? So how do you raise the laptop? Simple. You can put it on top of boxes, tissue box, shoe box. In my case, I put it on top of the printer. And if you are away, if you need to have a discussion, then you have a micro stand, okay? Put your handphone horizontally, or at the worst case, use a coffee mug, okay? Use the coffee mug because your handphone, your smartphone will fit in the coffee mug. But please ensure that there's no coffee in the mug. You don't want to drown your smartphone, and then you have to, one, buy a new smartphone, and two, buy a new cup of coffee, right? But you can see that the coffee mug will hold your handphone nicely. We use our hands to emphasize a lot, but do not move your hand close to the camera because the hands will seem a lot bigger and therefore it's out of proportion. So move your hands in the same plane, whether it is larger, smaller, bigger, whether it's from north, south. So you can always indicate, but move them in the same plane as just slightly in front of you. Folding your arms, okay. And don't point. Yes, in Malaysia, we don't use the finger, we use the thumb, but then still don't point at the screen because, as you know, that's rude. And you have to be careful. Unless it's a predetermined signal in group discussions, don't wave your hands aggressively. Many of us will be sitting. So how do we sit to look good? You need to lean forward a little bit, and therefore you should be sitting in the top, in the front half of the chair. Yeah. And in that way, when you lean forward a bit, body language will say that you are interested. Also, your diaphragm is open. And when your diaphragm is open, you can speak, your voice is fuller, like the opera singers in Phantom of the Opera. Yeah, it's not squeaky or half done. Keep your back straight and then pull your shoulders back. When you do that, you will look much better. Take a look here. We talk about background. We have to be careful with a black background. You can't see the outline. Yeah, with a white background, that's better. So choose your background. The advantages of the black background. Who would know what are the advantages of a black background versus a white background? Maybe you would like to type in the chat box and we'll see it. All right, Nick, yeah, accidentally share the whole desktop, yes. As you move between, you have to be careful. So the best thing is keep your monitor as clean as possible, yeah. You don't want people to see private and confidential information, yeah. Any more? Okay, it takes a bit of time to type and there's a lag, so. All right, if white, see when you have a white background and you have two light sources, one from the right and one from the left, you will see shadows at the back. And then you need an extra light to light up your background. Whereas if you have a black background, the shadows aren't seen and you can make do with just a light. I have just a ring light which I can show you. So you can choose your background, just make it plain. Whatever clothes you wear, contrast it with the background. So solid colors are good. So for men, it's going to be navy, blue, black, maybe gray. And for ladies, you can be a lot more colorful, ruby red, sapphire blue, emerald green. As a presenter, and when you are dressed in bright colors, then you stand out from the rest of the people, from the rest of the audience, and people will remember you. But gentlemen, I'm sorry, we can't wear white. Well, you can, but you're gonna look funny if you wear a yellow jacket or a red jacket, yeah? So solid colors are good. And of course, if you are representing a company, you will need to be in work attire. That could be a uniform, or you may need to wear a tie. Yeah? Just avoid certain colors. Bright red, bright orange. It's too contrasty. And gentlemen, when you wear shirts, pure white shirts are not good because they're reflective. They're very shimmering. So we need to wear off-white. It's something like gloss and matte photographs, if you still remember what those are. Okay, floral patterns and stripes are distracting, and your camera lens, if you move around, especially when it is a shimmering material like silk, it will just distract. Jewelry, yes, ladies, wear your jewelry. Small items, you can have a short necklace, okay, but bangles, be careful. If there are many bangles, it will move around, then it makes noise. Just a quick question here. Just by dressing, how would you dress to look slimmer? So let's ask you to unmute and speak. How would you dress to look slimmer? Anyone?
Always in dark colors.
Dark colors, okay. Why dark colors?
Definitely will make you look slimmer.
Right, okay. That's well-known fact. Even with not in front
and
of
professional,
camera.
yeah. Huh? Pardon? Not in front of what?
Even when we're not in front of a camera, when we're in face-to-face, black will make all of us look slimmer.
Yeah.
How else? Thank you. We're just talking about dress here. Any idea? MCO has all made us very slim, right? We've been exercising at home with all these home exercises. Okay, for me, okay, black's good. Wearing vertical stripes. Vertical stripes make you look taller and hence slimmer. Yeah, solid colors make you look slimmer. Plus, if you have a V-neck instead of a round neck, you know the t-shirts, you have round neck t-shirts and the V-neck t-shirts, a V-neck would make you look slimmer. So if you have dresses or clothes, wear these vertical lines, V-necks, darker colors. Okay, great. Let's go back. So I'm not sure if I'm going too fast or too slow for you people. Could I have an indication in the chat box? If it's okay, they can write okay, or maybe you can write too fast.
Yeah, V1 says, so far so good. Paris
Okay.
also says, so far so good. And Rudin has said, just nice. So your pace is just nice for them.
All right, I will continue that. Okay, let's go on. The next one is your home studio. It's going to be very, very common. Yeah, people will work from home. You may be in the office, but your colleagues could be at home, or you could be at home and you need to communicate with your bosses in HQ. So you may want to identify a little corner in your house where you make it your studio. And when it's your studio, remember, when you're the presenter, you are the star. You are the main actor or the main actress, because nobody else can steal it from you anyway, right? The screen is on you, okay? So look good, look nice, yeah? And how do you sound and how do you look? Between sound and visual, which is more important? If you can unmute yourself and speak up, which do you think is more important? The way you look or whether they can hear you?
Both.
Both. Okay, help me out. Which is more important?
Visual, visual.
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 Why visual? Sorry?
Visual.
Visual.
Look.
Wow. Pakai foundation.
Visual look nice.
Visual look nice, yeah.
Agreed.
Okay, let me ask you one question. When you have been on webinars, have you ever multitasked? Do something else? If the guy is talking and is not doing anything on the screen that you need to follow, you just can be with him by listening to him. Will you multitask? Look at your handphone, check something else? Are you all very nice every time you're in a webinar, full concentration? Or are you like me? If I can hear the guy, I'm okay. So I personally think your audio is more important, okay? But you have a look, yeah. So remember what I said, use a microphone that is not from the laptop. Buy one, or at least use your headset, okay? Now you can get a unidirectional microphone. It will cut off the background noise. But remember, when it's unidirectional, if you moving ahead, it won't catch you so much, okay? I don't get any commission. This is from Lazada, 300 ringgit plus a bit of handling package costs, okay? If you have a mouse set, that's fine. If you wear your microphone, make sure it doesn't get, it's not in contact with your clothes. This is just the earpiece. My microphone is taped to the front of my laptop because I've done webinars and the microphone was here dangling, and because it catches my clothes, it was a lot of noise, okay? Alrighty, what's this? There's no heading. What do you think of this presenter? Anyone? Everyone? All right, you want to type it in or use the microphone? That's fine. What's wrong with this? Do you like this? Not prepared. You want to say not prepared. Can you elaborate? What do you mean by not prepared?
The studio is not prepared. She's not well dressed. The camera position is all wrong.
What's wrong with the camera position?
Like you said, it's not at the eye level.
Isn't it at the eye level?
No, she's looking down towards the camera. Her head is higher than the camera.
Oh, okay. Like Ruden said, wrong angle. Kimmy Tan said, low angle. Ruden says that's an intimidating look. Yeah. In this case, the camera is lower than the face, and then you can see the ceiling. Okay, and you can see the double chin. Okay, good. And what about this guy? Comments, please. Unmute and speak. You're gonna have fun with him. If he was a presenter, what would you do? At least his camera is at eye level, or maybe even slightly higher. But what else would you say about this studio? Hello, can you unmute and say something? Or someone's typed? You like typing? Okay. He's exposed the body and the room, naked and messy bed. Oops, Kimmy. Bed is messy, yes. And yes, this Iron Man has forgotten to put on his suit. Yeah, yeah. Plus, you can see that the light is behind him, so he's only a silhouette. Anyone notice his spectacles? There's a reflection from his monitor. So any one of you, if you have contacts, it would be better if you are, when you are making the presentation, to use contacts instead of wearing your spectacles, okay? All right, let's go to the next screen. Here, you can see a window is here, probably another window because there's the curtain. So her left face would get the sunlight, and she has another light source fill in to make sure her right side of the face is also lit. This one should be diffuse light. You don't want strong light that will blind you, yeah? And at this page, they can't see, or maybe there isn't a webcam, but here it is slightly higher than her face, right? So this one, any comments on this as the presenter and his home studio or office studio? Any comments, please? You can unmute yourself. Oh, more chat. Noise at the back. Come on, people. What do you think of this? If the guy is on it, he looks all right, says Ivan. Yeah, this is fine too. Okay, look at him. He's framed it. The bit of space between the top of his hair and the top of the frame, he's framed it so that there's about equal distances between his shoulder and the rest. So the camera angle is going to be important. Oh.
I think not suitable in to do webinar in the open space. He need to be surrounded in the private room.
Okay. In this case, he's probably in the office. And some offices already have video conferencing rooms, but there are times when you don't have. So in this case, virtual background would help. Yeah, everything is fine except maybe the background. Okay. So positioning of your camera, make sure the light is on your face and not like our friend Iron Man, where the light is behind him. You only see.
Terus ini pergian kalau nak kalau kita nak apa nama?
Hi, are you speaking to us, or are you going to mute your microphone? Okay, so camera is at eye level. We've talked about dressing. They made you look slimmer. Can the angle of your camera make you look slimmer? Feedback from you. I don't know. I think many people would like to look slimmer after MCO, right? So the way we dress, and if the camera can also help us to look slimmer, how about that? More on the chat box. Okay, I keep reading the chat box. Can, especially double chin. Engaging blur back. Okay, now anyone can let me know or share with the rest of us, how would you use the camera angle to make yourself look slimmer? No? All right, then I'll tell you. You put it slightly above your eye level. It's nice to be at your hairline level. So when you look down, you look a bit slimmer. And please don't put it 5 feet up. So yeah, you look really slim, but then we can't see, it's just a head and nothing else, okay? So just slightly above, perhaps at the hairline is good. Okay, my clicker seems not to work. Sorry about that. Let's carry on. What's happening here? Okay. Yeah, and then you have about 1/3 of your torso. Okay. The boundary of your framing. Make sure also your work desk or your video desk is clear. Okay. That if you have a drink, it's not visible to the audience. And remember, blue jeans. Yes, you can see that people can see your torso, but if you are not totally ready, if you've forgotten a report or a prop or something, and you need to get up, people can see what you're wearing in the bottom half of your torso. So you could be in pajamas and so on. So just be careful. Okay, best thing is to get prepared. All your props, all your reports, everything on the desk, and even better still, wear proper attire. Lighting, you should be facing, but most of us would work if you are from home, there will be a window. Then use the blinds. You don't want direct sunlight, okay? If you are in a room in the office and there's no window, choose one where there is a wall light, because overhead lights would make you, would cast a shadow as if you're wearing a baseball cap. Take a look. That's only overhead light. This one, there is a wall light. Most of us at home would have our work desk not facing a window because it's far too glaring. So one half of the face could be lit, but the other half would be in shadow. So you will need to have some kind of light, diffuse lighting, okay, so that when it shines on you, it balances up. If you're going to do it very often, it's worthwhile getting a ring light or a makeup light. It's round and therefore people can see the whole face, okay? I'm using one at the moment. So if you want to take a look, we can change it from brighter. I can also make, there are 3, okay? Yellow light, white light, and a mixture. So, and because you may need to do virtual meetings at night, or today is a cloudy day, okay? There's not much sunlight. Or you can buy even a smaller one, 12 ringgit. This is a clip-on. Again, there's 3 lights. You can clip it onto your handphone. So if your video desk is a bit small, you can just clip it onto your monitor and the lighting should be evenly distributed. Yeah. Then the background, we've talked about background. Now you can look here, we can see clear lines. This is for Microsoft Teams, okay? You can blur the background. Sorry, you just go down, it says blur my background. Then you can see it's already blurred. So for that gentleman who was in the office, or if you are suddenly caught and you need to be involved in a discussion or meeting and you're in Starbucks or a cafe, you can just blur it, okay? Now, for Zoom, you can use a virtual background, yeah? Like I'm using. So first of all, you take a look. You can choose, there are certain backgrounds that are given to you, but at the sides, near the sides, you may see some movements, okay? So in order to do that, you need a computer that has the 4th generation of i7. Then immediately you can put in a virtual background. You can just add on here any background that you would like to put in, your own photographs, yeah? But if you don't have, then you need to get a green screen. So you can just buy them, maybe 71 ringgit, or you can buy this with stand and have it on. So I'm using a background now and I've got the stand. So if I now show you without video, no virtual. So if I choose no, you can see my green screen is at the back. Okay, so just buy it off Lazada and you can use it. Now, with the green screen, you can actually superimpose whatever background that you want on it. Okay, so I recommend general default settings to mute everyone when they join. Then they can unmute themselves. Use the white screen so that not too much of the background is seen. I always use touch-up appearance. I need it, okay? And then when you join, just join with the video on, especially if you are the presenter. And make sure you know how to look at the gallery view. So I've gone on again. So now if you could type in the chat box 3 things that has benefited you from this webinar so far. I would like to hear from you. What are the 3 benefits you have? Did we talk about virtual background? Did we talk about speaking, too many people speaking at the same time? Did it meet some of your expectations? I only have 1 hour, so I couldn't cover everything, but I hope it has been helpful to you. Once you type it on, then we go on to question and answers, because I think we are just about on time. Okay, 11:52. You've learned about camera position, Kimi, do's and don'ts, and then lighting. Thank you, Kimi. Okay, help you. Rudin, preparation, physical green screen, good slides. Yeah, great. Your slides need to be more engaging, interesting. Yvonne, it's good how to prepare before a presentation to have notes and make sure your studio is ready. Yeah. You don't want pets coming around. So yes, sorry, somebody said children come in, you need to lock the door and tell them, okay, just for an hour, mommy or daddy has a meeting, okay? Locking the room, door, closing the windows, using the aircon, cuts off background noise too, okay? Anyone else? Okay, you can continue to type. Sorry, from Nick, look at the camera. Yes, look at the camera, not at the screen, yeah? Now, continue typing in, we'll come back to it, but I would like to have Q&A now for people who want to unmute and ask questions. We have a few minutes left. Okay, Nancy, I think we've
Hi, John. Hi, John.
Hi.
How to handle if we are in the discussion, then people arguing each other. How to stop them? Because
Okay.
they keep talking to fight, give their points.
Okay, so we want people to have a discussion, but if they are getting heated and getting more personal, then I have suggested you have a predetermined signal. When you wave your hands, then everyone should stop, or you just speak louder over the phone. And then, because they are emotional, when you speak, you summarize what each person is saying, okay, for and against, or point A and point B. As you summarize it, the 2 people who are arguing, they have maybe 1 minute, 45 seconds to cool down. Everybody's conscious, hey, I'm on camera, so let me use my head again and not be so emotional. Remind them, this is the objective. It's good to have discussions and opposite viewpoints. We need opposite viewpoints so we know the pros and cons. But gentlemen or ladies, please, let's keep it professional, to the point. Try that, yeah? I have found that it works, because in the heat of the moment, we are all emotional. But when we realize, then we can talk again and become professional. Does that help you?
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Right up.
Good.
Next.
Hi, I have a question. How do we engage students to participate in discussion, especially like when we're having tutorials.
Tutorials. Okay. Can I have your name, please?
Yvonne here.
Hi, Yvonne. Yeah. In tutorials, it's maybe what 3 or 4 people. Yeah. So if you have tutorials, what is the main point you're going through? You can actually call them by name gently, not demanding or in a threatening way. And then you have prepared questions that you want to ask them, or you have leading questions for them. Whenever they're not sure, you guide them. You don't say, but. You don't say, however, because, okay, this is communication, but when you say but and however, we are all trained, okay? When people say but or however, whatever we say is wrong. So you will, if they've said something correct, you repeat what they've said or paraphrase what they've said that's correct. The part that's wrong, then you can say, and what happens here? So the person whom you are addressing feel confident that, hey, the tutor has said that I'm correct, but something else. So as the student thinks about what you have asked, he may come up with the correct answer. If not, you continue to guide him by asking questions until he comes up with the answer. And then he thinks he got the answer, not that you had to guide him. Would that help?
Yes, that's helped very much. Thank you very much.
So I do communication, so yeah. Anyone else? That's Yvonne and let me take a quick look at the time. Okay, we still have 3 minutes. If not, it's last chance calling. Oh, we have something on a chat box. Let me take a look. The host to unmute them first. All right. There is an evaluation form for you to fill in. Okay. And then also, I think Ira, the host, is going to show you one last slide. Oh, host to unmute them first. Ruden, we can unmute ourselves at the bottom left of the corner, bottom left corner of the screen. Okay. Yeah. And right. I'm actually running a full course, 4 hours plus 3 hours, 2 separate days, 4 hours for day 1, and then on the 24th of June. And then you go home, you go through what I've shared with you, you rehearse, you record yourself, and then you send it in. Then every participant gets a chance to take a look and see what are the good points and bad points, because we learn more when we can see other people's good points. And if we can spot errors made by others, then we have really got it. So this course is a 1+1 course, 24th and 26th of June. That gives you 2 days to go through, rehearse, and then record yourself. I was told that Sue wants to give you a special offer of $399 if you sign up within 24 hours, because my normal fee is 790 ringgit. So if you sign up, there's a link at the bottom. Sign up within 24 hours, you only need to pay 399 ringgit. Yeah. Any questions on that? Yes, the registration forms are there. The brochure is also there. So there's a lot more to share.
Yeah, okay, it's about 12 o'clock. Thank you very much, John, for your valuable time and also the sharing. I'm sure a lot of people have benefited from this presentation of yours, especially how they can arrange for the technicalities to be possible, make sure that there's noise reduced and the background is not distracted, and also how is it that they can engage people more by asking them questions and even getting the realer, for example. If you're showing something, you might want to show it and then see how it works. Or maybe you want to show them a speaker so that they're more engaged. Or you can actually get them to talk more like what you have done. So they're all engaged. They are still here, even though we are finishing. So if you would like to learn more about the program, you can come for the 4 hours and 3 hours program, which is called How to Bring the Virtual Presentation to Life. It will be more in-depth. If you go to the link here, you can check out all the things that will be involved. Here are the overview and then the outcome that you get, the course details, a lot that's been packed in. And the questions that you have asked earlier on in this webinar, we will cover again in more details, especially in the this program, which is on the 24th of June, yeah? 24th of June, what time is it, John, is your program?
It will be from 9 to noon, 9 a.m. until noon.
Yeah, okay, great.
Okay.
If you like to invest, if you like to sign up, there is a sign up button or register. You can download the brochure and get the approval from your employee, or if you can make your own decisions, you can just drop in and get it done. And drop us an email or a list of questions that you have so that you gain more when you come for the program. We're only limiting it to a few seats. Make sure you sign up pretty quickly before the seats are snap up. And today we have just given you a special deal. Hopefully you will grab it before everyone else is doing it. Okay, so that's it for now. If you have any last questions, which they have not so far, we didn't see any questions anymore. I'm sure they know what to do now. They have gone home, what you can do. Do you want to do a revision or just a summary of what you have covered, John, so that they can remember before they leave and come up with excellent and great virtual presentations? We want our students or people who come actually have an excellent way of presenting and confident, most importantly, especially when they're looking at the screen, and also being vibrant and also using the tonalities and voice to actually interest the people. That's also one of the things. John, back to you.
Right, so thank you. I think you have done a wonderful summary of the course already. But for those who would like to know a bit more, some of my engagement tactics used here is that when the background was messy, the slides, the 4 slides, the way I showed you the first slide, took it off, and then showed you 3 more slides and took off top. So that ought to have some interest because suddenly the top 2 slides are gone. Okay, marker pens, I've shown you the product. And then when I talked about acronyms, I hope I have got you interested by what is this avoid men and follow women stuff. Okay, then the vibration of the head to coincide with vibrating the phone. This is engaging you. Although I'm not asking you to do anything, I am keeping your attention. Okay, talking about icons on your monitor, that any private P&C staff is not there. Listing your difficulties, that's the first time you're going to type things on. Okay, and then ask you questions, camera at the eye level. Yeah, I hope there's a bit of a giggle when they say the presenter could squat down, or not, then raise the camera. The empty coffee mug, I also hope that you can visualize, oh no, you're not going to put your smartphone into the coffee. Then it's a good excuse to buy a new handphone and a new cup of coffee. Dressing to look slimmer, camera to look slimmer, that already makes you think, yeah, you're not typing with me, okay, you're not talking to me, but I'm engaging you, okay? Then to let you know that it's probably best also to wear proper attire in the lower body. So these are the ways I have engaged you, not necessarily by making you do anything physical or otherwise, but when your thought is there, yeah, my point is made, I made you think about it, then you are with me. You're not going to multitask and try and see, okay, who am I meeting next or something. You are with me, okay? So I hope that helps. Righto, Sue, I think you've summarized and I've added a few things. Do you want to wait for more questions?
No, we finish just in time. Guys, thank you very much for joining us. I hope you have 1 hour of very, very beneficial time with us. How do you present virtually with a confidently? These are some tricks and tools that John has shared. He has prepared this for many months, and she has done a lot of research ever since. Oh, Yvonne Chong says thank you very much for today's sharing, especially to Mr. Jonathan and Sue. Thank you. Nancy say thank you to the organizer. Thank you very much for coming in and tuning in. We hope this is of extremely beneficial to you. Good luck very much for your endeavors. Thanks for the great sharing. Kimi Tan said thank you. Check out itrainingexpert.com for more trainings coming up. There are some free webinars that you can also join. We sometimes are live. We are actually going to be live probably every other day in our Facebook Live, facebook.com/itrainingexpert. We are bringing you more topics, more relevant ones that will help you in your endeavors. In this COVID-19, in this recession, in this hard time, in this lockdown, we have both the free webinars to get more engagement and also benefit and also give back to the community and the business people that we are always with in. And also we have the normal paid webinars if you are interested to indulge more into the topic a little bit more deeper. So John has already prepared this. 24th of June, he will see you in his program called the, what program is it again? How do you engage yourself? How do you bring more confidence to the world through the webinar? Okay. After that, you might be able to do your live presentation just very easily on Facebook. Wow, we have children as well. Thank you for joining us. So yeah, this is not only limited to just meeting, of which is very important. Also for teaching, yeah, very interesting. You will be getting used to doing live webinars or live events like this. If you're waiting to go back to the corporate world or even the classroom or university lecture halls, physically, I think you can stop thinking about that first. For the next 6 months, it doesn't happen. So we have to change very quickly, and this is the way we are giving it back to you. This 1 hour full of ideas of how you can improve and how you can look more confident, especially when you are on the camera. All right, a lot of people are very fearful, especially when they're on camera. Oh, do I look nice? Do I have to make up? Do I have to wear extremely nice and branded stuff and all those things? Or are you comfortable, or do you have things to talk about? All these things will need a lot of practice. John has got at least 40 years of practice online speaking and online presentation. I probably have only half of it, 21 years of talking on camera. We all started our career in the UK, so we are a bit more confident, but I'm sure everybody else is also very confident, especially when they're on Wi-Fi, selfie, and all those video conferencing. So this is the norm, and this is what old people like us, we have to catch up, right? And to engage with the young generation, the Gen Z or Gen X and the Gen Z and things like that. So they are very, very quick already. We have to climb up and we have to chase after them. So thank you very much. It's already 10 minutes to 12 o'clock. Thank you for spending time with us. We hope you will come back and see us either in our paid webinars or also other webinars that you might be interested in. All right, we will extend this to other people as well. So this is the group that we were signing off. Thank you so much for coming. For those people who thank us, Noor, thank you. Nick Firis, thank you for participating. Dr. Nizam from UMS University. Thank you, Nick Faris, Kimi Tan, Rudine, thank you for coming out early. Nancy Fan, how are you? Yvonne Chong, thank you for your contribution, and a whole lot more who I didn't call your name just now.
Thank you, Safwan. Yeah.
Thank you, Agnes, as well. Some people are also on the Facebook and they're commenting. Meena Pushpanaran, they are also on Facebook and they have a few questions and we have already helped you to answer. Thank you so much for coming. We hope you have a great lunch and keep on, what do you call it, pursuing what you're doing, and make sure that you stay tough. Dr. Nisan says, good to you and great knowledge. Thank you so much for your encouragement, Safwan. We have our team who will send you some evaluation form. If you could, please fill it out so that we know we have some feedback on what is it that you need, and we can produce more nice content that you are interested in. Okay, so without further ado, have a good lunch. Selamat Hari Raya, or belated one for those people who have celebrated it. And for those people who are going back to work after the post CMCO on the 9th of June, we hope everything is good. Stay safe, very important, and we will always be with you. Thank you. Thank you so much. You can give us a reaction like a wave or a goodbye. That'll be great. That's also one of the engagements. Oh, Nancy says thumbs up. Excellent. Thank you so much. Nick Faris also has a thumbs up. Safwan. All right. Thank you so much. So we will sign out now. Hope to see you again. Goodbye. Thanks, John. John?
My pleasure. Yeah.
Okay. Bye.